Okay.
Perfect.
Yep, it looks good. Can you hear us clear?
Yeah. Let me switch this shit off. Give me 1 second here.
Yes, sir.
Try to turn the comments off. Usually you can. Well, hell. All right. Never mind. Well, what's up, fellas? How y'all doing today?
Hey man, we doing great, man. We just want to first off thank you and let you know we appreciate you for taking out your time to come on here with us today. We definitely appreciate that, Mr. Stewman.
Appreciate it, Ryan.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I like what you guys are doing, so I'm glad that you have me on here.
For sure, dude. And just to piggyback, hey, scoot over a little bit this way. Piggybacking off what he said, dude. Just a giant thank you. So yeah, just in a nutshell, just to kind of let our audience know who you are. We've explained a little bit, but Ryan Stewman, guys. Ryan, hey, are we allowed to curse in front of your audience?
This is probably your audience.
I'll tell you what, this was the first thing that attracted Corey to him when he heard Danny introduce you as Ryan.
Motherfucking Stewman.
So Corey was like, man, this guy's speaking my language. So anyhow, man, we wanted to get on here, ask you a couple of questions for our audience. And then there's some things we're working on. We're not on here just self-promoting. We know there's a big push for a bunch of shit coming up in this world that we live in, and we wanted to use this platform with you to basically announce it. So, first things first, Ryan Stewman, entrepreneur, investor, author of, if I'm not mistaken, is it 13 books, Ryan?
It's something like that. It's a lot, yes.
Yeah, 13 books. Here's one of them, and just so you know, Ryan, this stays right there at the front of our podcast episodes every week. So we've got that G code, perfect color coordination for ours as well. But yeah, over 100,000 book sales. So the guy's just a badass. But more important than anything, we went to I met you back in 2019 when my life was rock bottom. My marriage was in shambles. I was thinking I was going to get some business advice at a mastermind event. Thanks for one of my best friends, Trevor Young. He brought me out there. He got me involved with you guys. And I heard yours and Amy's story. So I was like, man, this is a hell of a lot more than business. And just that, dude, you kind of helped me get my shit together with my beautiful wife. And right now we're doing better than ever. I pulled you and Amy aside back in August, and that's what I was telling you, thank you for that. But I brought Corey out. I was like, man, we're working on a podcast. Let's talk excellence. And tell him a little bit about what your thoughts were when we left Mastermind.
Yeah, so the thing, Ryan, when I first came to the Mastermind event in August, I thought it was just all business, right? But then when I got there, I found out, how the 4 elements of the G code impacted your everyday life. And it's not just a business, right? It's everything. And that changed my outlook with JJ bringing me to that event for our podcast that we're doing to take it mainstream, especially when you was talking about average,
The force of average.
The
force of average.
The forces of average, and just watching your Monday morning motivations, that was everything to me. And that impacted me and JJ Solomon a lot. And that's how we here today talking to Ron motherfucking Stewman, and it's just a blessing and an honor.
Yeah, man. So just a couple questions. Go ahead.
Let me say something. You guys, you both mentioned the same thing, that you came to this event and you thought you were coming to just learn how to make some money, basically, right?
Sure.
But you didn't use that word. You actually used the word, you were learning about business. And what so many people think is that they need to separate. We hear things like separate work and home, separate business and pleasure. And the truth is, and I'm just, just be real with you. The truth is, when Jesus said, am I not about my Father's business? He wasn't just talking about, I'm here making money for God. He wasn't saying that. What he was saying was like, his business is committed to excellence at all times. So like, that's our business. So when you come to our seminar, you really did learn about business. You realize that some of the things that you were acting like none of your business was actually all of your business, right? Like you mentioned, JJ, you say, I was at this rock bottom and I came to, an event, and And what happens is you started handling your business, right? But what happens before you came to that event, there was business out there you didn't know to handle. Business maybe with your wife, business maybe with your finances, business maybe with your health, business with maybe that voice in the back of your head that's been telling you to do some shit that you've been making up excuses on why not to do, or whatever the case, right? And so many people think, I'm going to a seminar to learn business, or I need to go learn how to make more money. And you will never make more money in business until you're handling all your business. Because here's what I know. I've watched so many people that don't handle all their business. They go make money in business. And I'll give you a good example. A guy goes out, he builds $1 million per year business. And during that time, he really wasn't paying good attention to his wife. He really wasn't paying good attention to his kids. First year he hits $1 million. Second year he hits $1 million. He gets a bill for half of it from the lady that he's been neglecting because she's got to go find somebody else. So now, even though it seemed like he was handling business and making money, he ain't got it no more because he's going through a divorce. And you know what that does to people's minds, man. They start going downhill. They start drinking. It's a reason to fall off. For most people, not everybody,
Sure.
but for most people, right?
For sure.
And so because they weren't handling their business, the business was to make $1 million a year, still be a good husband, still be a good father, because that's what you're supposed to do to handle your business. The number one, we have a very high-end mastermind, costs a lot of money to join. And the number one reason people join is to make more money, right? Makes sense.
Sure.
You're going to pay money to make money. But what the number one, because we survey our people, the number one side effect of what really happens when they join is people walk in that room and they go, shit, I got to get in better shape. Immediately, they're like, fuck, I gotta work out. I got to lose weight. Like, damn,
Uh-oh. Freezing up a bit. Oh, there you go. Hold up. Ryan, you're freezing. Can you hear me, man? Yeah. Just let it play out. Let Ryan know he's freezing.
And we apologize, everybody, about
We
the technical
apologize.
difficulties.
Technical difficulty, right?
So he left. He should.
Yeah, he's going to jump right back on.
Hey, shout out to everybody on here, man. Y'all make sure y'all send this to everybody. I'm one of the best entrepreneurs to do it in Ron motherfucking Stewman. So y'all make sure y'all send this to at least 5 people so they can get all this free game too. Thank y'all for joining us, man.
Yeah, to what Craig just said, guys, this isn't just talking about boxing. We're talking about life right here, so we really want you guys to pay attention. Hey, let me see if we can get Ryan. Is he coming on? Is he back on?
I'm gonna have to accept him.
Oh, save it right now, JJ. Press that button. Yeah.
Good luck with her court closing.
He's on, I think.
Just press that. Oh, there you go.
You back?
sorry about that, man. I don't know what's going on. My phone just decided it was just going to shut off. So, whatever.
No worries.
Gotta love technology,
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Yeah, we were letting our audience know that we're not just here talking about boxing today.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
so to wrap that up, man, because I know where it dropped off out. To wrap that up, when talking about handling your business, one of my favorite quotes is from Jay-Z. He says, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman." And really, that's what we are. Like, everything that is about our business is our business. Our health is about our business. The way we think is about our business. The corporation we represent or work for or own or whatever is about our business. The relationships that we have with other people in our life is a part of our business. And it's not until you're handling all that business that you'll truly see success. Because that'd be like having, like, I got a Lamborghini in the garage, right? And it's got a 10-cylinder engine, but I'm only using 5 of them because that's fast enough, right?
Yeah,
like,
no.
how fucking stupid would that be?
Facts. Absolutely, man.
It probably still is fast with 5. It's faster than I can fucking run with 5 cylinders. But the manufacturer, the thing that made that car, blessed it with 10. Why don't I use all 10?
That is fucking spot on, man, and it's brilliant because shit. Again, I can speak. Speaking from a personal level, I had a lot of shit checked off. This is going well. This is going well. But when I come home after work, it was in shambles, man. It was in shambles, and I had all kinds of internal pain that just started to pour out. And I'm not kidding you, man. When Trevor took me out to that first mastermind in 2019. I left saying, baby, we got some business to work on between me and you. Not the hell with everything else for right now. We need to get our shit together. So I say that one question I want to ask you, man, that I want you to speak to our audience on is the boxing world traditionally, because we're a boxing podcast. We're 2 lifelong boxing fans. I'm too out of shape, and I'm too. That's the reason why. A lot of reason why I'm not a boxer, but I love the damn sport. But traditionally, the boxing industry, the fighters, they come from rough backgrounds, and there's a lot of people who limit themselves because I'm from the hood. My parents didn't care. I didn't make good grades in school. I was surrounded by drugs. I want our audience to get a perspective and let them know that Ryan isn't just some suit and tie guy who's rubbing elbows with just, I only work with bankers and shit like that. Give us a real quick shot at what your story. I want folks to know what they can do.
Yeah. So when I was 7 years old, I was adopted. Like my dad split. You know, it happens to a lot of us. My dad and my mom divorced, and our family lost everything. It was like a tough time economically. I don't know. I was still kind of young. Obviously, I was 7 years old, but I know it was just a rough time. Our family divorced. And we went from, you know, living in like a small town of like 1,200 people to moving to the big city, you know, and it was a big shock for me. And because they didn't talk the same, it was just a different people. You a 7-year-old kid that's went to kindergarten, first and second grade, to now all of a sudden you're in Dallas. That's fucking, you know, a whole different world, right? But so eventually my mom met some guy, and he ended up adopting me. But man, he's very abusive, very mean. So it was like, you know, the quintessential story of my dad left me, new dad, stepdad steps in. He's like a, you know, an asshole that's always hitting me and fucking grounding me and just, you know, any excuse to be a dick. But one of the things that he did was once I, you know, was about 13, he put me to work. And I realized when I was working at the car wash, he was like car wash manager, you know, we're a poor family. And I noticed that the guy that sold the car washes didn't have to go actually scrub the mud off the cars. I thought that was like a hell of a deal because you got paid to talk instead of paid to work, right? So I started, you know, paying attention to him and what he would say to learn sales or whatever. Well, flash forward, like most kids that are adopted and you know, abused and shit like that, I got into drugs and stuff, and working at the car wash, I got to meet all the drug dealers. Shit, they're up there washing their cars and everything else, right? Because like drug dealers keep their shit fresh, man. Drug dealers are terrible money decision makers, but they sure keep a nice clean car at all times, you know? So, or at least they did in the 90s when I was working in that world. And so, you know, I got opportunities to go sell drugs, you know, on the side. These guys would meet me at the car wash. I was, you know, grab shit from them, go sell it, make a little extra money. A lot of people been there. A lot of us that are entrepreneurs and guys, for those of you who don't know me, like I cross paths with billionaires on a daily basis. Like they call me, you know what I mean? And celebrities. Like I was the first person to bring a platinum recording artist on stage last year, or was it this year? Yeah, this year. To go back on tour. So it's like, man, my life's fucking dope, right? I've been to fucking parties at Dan Bilzerian's house and shit. Like, ooh. And so when I say all of this, like, you know, it's not just, you know, like hearsay or thinking these things that I'm going to say, right? So I go out there, the car wash, and like everybody else, start selling drugs. And that's what I was going to say is I meet these guys that are, you know, billionaires now, or that are 9-figure people now, and their first fucking thing was hustling weed or hustling fucking coke, or you know what I mean, some MLM shit was their first fucking thing that they got into, right? Like they're no different than us. The only thing is they found a way out, right? Like so I got lucky. You know, some people go looking for a way out. I was like most people that are from poverty or the hood or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I think there's no way out. Because I never seen nobody around me get the fuck out. I never seen anybody around me make money. I never seen any dudes from my neighborhood in Dallas go out and become fucking millionaires. So what are the fucking chances I'm gonna be able to do it? So, but I have seen the dope boys keep a clean car, right? Like, so that's how most of us thought, right? But imagine my kids though. They live in this neighborhood that I live in now, in a suburb, right? And so they get to fucking see these other kids' parents go off to fucking college and drive Lamborghinis and shit like that. If they saw a drug dealer's car come through this neighborhood, they'd be like, who brought that piece of shit over here? You know what I'm saying? Right? But when I grew up, that shit was it. You know what I mean? Because that was the surroundings that I have, right? We always make the joke, like, if somebody want to kidnap my kids be like, I'm not getting in your van. I rode up here in a Lamborghini. What the fuck? Right? Like, but for me, I needed a damn ride. I would have had to get in the van. You know what I mean? Mom don't even know I'm on this part of town. I got to get back over there. So anyway, So like most people that do that, I got in trouble. I got caught. I ended up going to prison for 2 years. And uh, when I was 20, I was actually in prison when 9/11 happened. That was really weird. And I didn't just go to like, hey, you know, you go to prison and then you get out. These evil fuckers sent me to like 6 or 7 different prisons within 2 years, right? So, you know, you watch the movies, the motherfucker walk down the run and everybody's screaming at him and shit like that. And you think, damn, that's got to be terrible. I had to do something similar to that. It's not always that bad, but something similar to that, like fucking 6 or 7 times. You know what I mean? Like, that's a lot for a 21-year-old white dude to fucking get subjected to. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I got out of there, escaped rape free, you know, but I believe the reason why is because even in the dope game, I didn't owe anybody money. Right? I never shot up nobody's house, right? If someone jacked me, I figured out a better way to get even with them or some shit like that. I didn't snitch on nobody or anything. So really there wasn't anything that they could do to make me join a gang in prison or get like Nazi shit. Like a lot of white dudes don't come out of the prisons I was in without Nazi shit tattooed all over them, right? Yeah. I don't have none of that shit. I don't have any lightning bolts, none of that shit.
He's got one. No, I'm fucking with you.
but that's real shit. A lot of people, they have no choice but to get that because maybe they snitched on your family and you're the fucking outside and you're like, hey, I'm gonna put money on your books and now they need protection. I didn't do any of that, right? I'm not saying I was like an ethical criminal, but I kept my mouth shut and I did my time. I have personal responsibility, right? So when I showed up into prison, nobody had anything against me because I didn't fuck nobody over. I wasn't in there for a weird crime. I'm just a dude who got caught with dope that stayed in my own business. I didn't gamble, do drugs there. So I got out. Then I got in fights and shit like that in there. But you know, for the most part, it was a lot easier than it could have been, especially as many places as I had to visit. But, you know, by the time they moved me to the 3rd place, I got the shit figured out, how the fucking system works.
Veteran.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, shit, I just come from the fucking other place over there, man. You know, started a riot. I'd be lying about why I was there and shit. Stabbed 3 people. You know, they had to move me. So, anyway, that's what you got to do to get around in there, though, you know?
Yeah, no shit, man.
Fucking so then I get out and I know 2 things. Like, I'm never going back to that motherfucker, and this is the lowest point in my life, right? Like, so I can only go up from here. I'll never break the law again. I'll never do none of this shit. So I learned my lesson. You know, like some people, I watch them get locked up in these really rough prisons, and like in the nighttime I can hear them praying, dear God, I'm sorry, if you'll just let me out of here. Like, they ain't coming for you, motherfucker. He ain't coming for you. It's like, shit, the parole board can't hear your prayers, motherfucker. You shouldn't have did that shit. You should have did it. You should have been talking to God before you made it, motherfucker, because it's too late now. Right? So anyway, I knew I didn't want to deal with that shit no more, right? And so I went and got a job back at the car wash because I thought that was the only place I could get a job. But here's the first big major life lesson I learned in my life is that hard work, it may seem like nobody's paying attention, but eventually it cannot be ignored. So me, I'm just working at the car wash. I got one plan and one plan only. If I outwork all these other motherfuckers, maybe they'll let me own it or get a piece of it or make more money at some point. I'll just be the best. They're going to have to pay me or somebody's going to have to pay me, right? So I go, I'm going to be the best damn car washer in the world. Somebody that was a customer at the car wash after a year or 2 years watching me wash her car offered me a job in the mortgage industry. I never even heard that word before, right? But they promised me all these things. They would take care of me, teach me, help me, blah, blah, blah. And I took a risk and took this job because I realized that if that person saw something in me, that I at least owed it to them to try to become that person because I already knew I was doing all I could do at the car wash, right? So I go take this job. Get this, I worked at that car wash for $7.55 an hour. Plus I made a little commission. On the best year ever at that car wash, I probably made 40 grand, okay? I go and after 3 weeks of working in the mortgage business, I got a check for $8,600. Man, you thought I was fucking Bill Gates, bro. I ain't even touched $8,600 when I was in the dope game. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is for me, $8,600 signified generational wealth. I start wearing a monocle and talking like a fucking rich motherfucker and shit.
You must be the Monopoly guy.
Hell yeah. Fuck, I'm my own fucking Main Street, Wall Street, and every street in between. This game on. But guess what? 3 weeks later, I got another check for like $14,000. So now I got half a year's salary in like 6 weeks. And I'm like, shit, man, I'm really on to something. But like most people, that get into real estate or something like that. That was it. I hit 2 quick licks and that was it, man. Everybody I knew that could or was going to buy a house and bought it from me. That was it. So I had to go find something new. So that's when I learned life lesson number 2. You got to get innovative, right? Because every well's eventually going to run dry. It's only a matter of time. So you need multiple wells. So I'll never forget. Couple months go by like a fucking idiot, like everybody else, like a drug dealer, blah, blah. I done rolled through that 20 grand like it was fucking strip club money. I didn't go to the strip club, but I done boned through it. I owed back fucking payment, bought all the shit, dumb shit, right? Couple months go by, man, I'm behind on my house payment. I'm getting a divorce. Like fucking this money's basically to fuck my life up, right? And I'm sitting at home and I ain't got cable because they cut it off because I don't pay the bill. But there's a new channel on TV. This is how long ago I am and how old I am. It's at CNBC. It was a brand new channel, and they just bringing it up on the TV. And I'm like, that's all I got to watch, and anything to take my mind off of how big of a fucking loser I am and how the hell I wound up going through all that money that quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I bet a lot of NFL and NBA people think that in millions. I'm thinking in thousands. They probably sit down and fucking with nothing for millions, you know? And on that TV show, it was a this Sunday only, a real estate seminar with Robert Kiyosaki. I don't know who the fuck Robert Kiyosaki was at the time, right? But I knew that if people were going there to buy real estate, I was the guy they could buy real estate through because I had done it twice. So I knew kind of the gift of gab at this point. I'd been in the game a little bit. So I go to this free seminar. And in the free seminar, they're pitching this stuff. And if I had the money to buy it, I would have bought it. But I noticed the people that bought it, they were probably pretty serious because it was like a $2,000 or $3,000 program, right? So I wait outside for them and hand them my business card. Hey, you gonna buy some real estate? I saw you join the program. Yeah, I'm gonna buy some real estate. You need some money? Hell yeah, I need some money. That's what I got. I got money. You need money? I got money.
Hell yeah.
One of those dudes, remember, I'm 2 months behind on mortgage payment, all-time low, divorce. This bitch divorced me and moved 5 fucking houses down the street from me. 5 fucking houses. She's still making me just as miserable gone as she was there. And knowing I can't pay the fuck anyway. So my life is like a fucking comedy skit. But I can't make this shit up, right? And so I'm like at a low point. Fucking man, I'm like, man, if I had enough money to buy a razor blade, I might slit my wrist, but I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? So I get a phone call that Monday from this guy. And he says, hey, I met you at the Kiyosaki seminar. I got 52 rent houses that I want to refinance. Is that something you think you can help me with? I said, shit, hell yeah, something I can help you with. Hey, back then, man, I was a banker. I talked like Ned Flanders. I was like, Oakley Dokley, baby. I had to use my white guy voice, you know what I'm saying? And so I couldn't be myself. I had to use my fancy voice. But so anyway, I ended up doing like 30-something refinances for this dude. So over the next year, because that gave me enough money to be able to go buy that program. That program taught me how to flip real estate. The next year, which was 2005, I made almost $1 million.
Damn, that's beautiful.
But there's a philosopher named Puff Daddy, and he says, "Mo money, mo problems." Right? And that's exactly what the fuck happened to me. Is here I am, 26 years old, with $1 million that I'm making a year. I go do what $1 million people do. I buy a nice house. I got a nice truck with 22-inch rims, which sounds like, okay, you got an average truck right now, but back then in 2005, that was some fly ass shit. You know,
can't lose a 22.
Yeah, I had the TRX at the time, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, and so I'm living in this like semi-small town, but the same town I got busted selling drugs in. But I don't think nothing of it. I'm like, shit, I did my time. I'm a clean dude. But the cops, they seeing me in this town, and they see me driving a nice car. They see my girlfriend's got a good car. They see I live in this house, and they start watching me. They think I'm selling dope. I don't know none of this is going on. They think I'm selling dope. I'm out of town with my grandma in Mexico, and these motherfuckers raided my house, right? I'm like, this is how bad these cops are. They actually raided my house when I wasn't home and thought I was selling dope when I wasn't selling dope. I don't know what the fuck these guys were fucking detecting, but they weren't doing a good job of it, right? Damn. And so I get home, and there's a warrant for my arrest. They arrest me driving down the fucking street and bring me in, and the first thing they do is they sit me down with the FBI.
Holy shit.
FBI, what the fuck? No, get this. They sit me down with the FBI, and he says, this dude comes in, fucking throws some fucking CSI shit. Like, bitch, I've been arrested 30 times. I've fucking seen this before. Just fucking spit it out, Like, he goes, we've got you on camera stealing IP addresses and fucking getting credit cards or some shit, right? And I'm like, me? I never stole nothing in my fucking life, right? Like, man, not even a pack of gum, bitch. What the fuck are you talking about? And they open this file, and it's this renter in one of my rent houses. He used my name because I'm the owner of the house to turn on the fucking internet. And so then that was how they got the. So anyway, that guy, I ended up, say, hey, this fucking dude's name's Richard Smith or whatever the fuck his name was. Like, go arrest him. He lives over at my fucking rent house. I don't live at that house, bitch. I live at this house over here, And so anyway, I got out of that. These fuckers went back and said when they raided my house, they didn't find any drugs. They found a gun. Okay, the gun wasn't even mine. It was my fucking roommate's. But the guns that they did fucking have had like high capacity clips. Some fucking snafu in the law that's not even illegal anymore. Like it's called the Brady Bill. And these bastards fucking, even though I didn't do any of the shit that they thought I did, and I fucking helped them solve a crime, they sent me to fucking federal prison for inter fucking state trafficking of firearms. The fuck, I didn't even leave the goddamn neighborhood. So, but that title was a lower sentence, so that's what I pled out to, right? And so, but long story short, I had to go do 15 months in federal prison. So think about this, guys. Like, rock bottom, meteoric high, become a millionaire, raided by the cops, fucking beat the case, awesome, and then fucking, oh no, here we go, didn't beat it after all, now I'm going to fucking prison again. And this time I'm going to prison, and I'm a good dude that didn't do anything wrong. The first time, definitely deserved prison. I fucked up, I wasn't hurting anybody, but I fucked up, I was selling drugs. This time I was doing shit the right way. So really, really bad things can happen to good people, but there's a reason for it, and I promise it's got a happy ending. And so I go to federal prison, and in federal prison, my wife leaves me 30 days, 45 days into it, takes my millions of dollars, my house, does everything. Hey, check this out. Check this out. She takes everything except for those books on that shelf over there.
There you go.
That's the only thing she left me with. You know why she left me with those books? Because dumb motherfuckers don't read, bro. Dumb motherfuckers don't read. Right? So, like, nobody ever stole a book. Nobody's like, 911, I like to report this motherfucker stole my books. Like, that's never fucking happened. Never. Yeah. Ask any 911. Barnes and Nobles don't even call if you run out. It's like, he probably needs it. He stole the book, but he probably fucking needs it. It's cool. So I get out with nothing. I got to go live in a halfway house. But while I was in prison, I have been teaching these drug dealers how to fucking turn their money into legal money with real estate, right? And so, like, I became kind of popular and was doing seminars and shit while I was in prison. So when I got out, I ended up getting a job back at a mortgage company, again, different mortgage company, become one of the top fucking dudes in the industry. And in 2010, President Obama passed a law that wouldn't allow felons to write mortgages anymore, right? And so, like, bam, goddamn, every time I get the fuck ahead, these government cocksuckers step in my fucking way. You know what I mean? Why? I'm not doing anything wrong. So I got to start all over. And now I got to be the pioneer in an unknown industry called social media. Back in 2010, ain't nobody know what the fuck Facebook was. It was barely popular. They probably had 1 million users back then. Definitely not 1 billion. And Instagram didn't exist yet. YouTube was it took 2 days to upload a video onto it. It was a whole different game back then. And it doesn't seem like when you say, 2010, it's only 2022, but that's a long time ago. None of my kids were alive back then. I got some old ass kids. None of them were alive back then, And so here's the thing. I just did the work every day. I started posting on social media. I started talking to people. And I knew that I had one thing. That I had taught loan officers, or that I had been a successful loan officer. So I figured I could teach other loan officers. Now that I couldn't compete against them, I would teach them how I did what I did to become successful in mortgages, right? It's like, now that I'm not your competition, I might as well be your ally. And so that's what I got started doing. Year one, $200,000. All right, it's not what I'm used to, but it's not bad. Year two, $500,000. Year three, I did 800. Year four, I did 3.5 million, and we've been off to the races since, and it's just 2022. So there's been lots of ups and downs along the way, but here's the thing. Here's what I know. I want to trace back to that story. If I wasn't adopted, I wouldn't be able to connect with people that don't have a dad, which there's a lot of us. If I hadn't dropped out of school, people would say, oh, he's smart, he graduated with honors or whatever the fuck, and it would be an excuse, right? If I hadn't been to prison, people like, oh, he's never even been in trouble, some white privilege bullshit, you know, typical blah, blah, blah. If I hadn't been divorced, people, so what I've literally done every step of the way in my life is remove other people's excuses when they look at me or why they can't fucking have what I have. Because those of you that don't know me, I'm sitting at a house fucking, I got more cars than I got garage spaces, and I don't drive cheap cars. I got Lamborghinis, fucking McLarens, fucking Porsches, fucking brand new Escalades. I got four-wheelers more than I even fucking know. I own more houses than I own. I own over 150 fucking restaurants. I mean, like, and I don't say all this to brag. I say it because I had every disadvantage you could possibly fucking ever come up against. No dad, no fucking health, no money, no fucking government and everything else. But I didn't get this overnight. I got this from all those experiences, and I just told you a 35-year fucking history of my 42 years in existence. That every one of those fucking experiences, I was never like, poor me, victim. I was always like, okay, this is fucked up, but I know there's a silver fucking lining on the outside. I know there's some way that I can get fucking through this. I know that this isn't finite. Even when I walked out of prison divorced and I was told I had to live in the halfway house, I was like, well, you know what? I've been here before. I know I can pull it off again. I did it the first time and I didn't know what the fuck I'm doing. The second time it should be a lot easier, and it fucking was. So many people walk in that same scenario and they go, man, fuck, I got lucky enough to do it the first time. I'll never do it again. What a piece of shit. I'm never going to fucking make it. And they go right back to fucking prison because they have no choice but to do dumb shit again. And I always knew it's like there's a fucking, I don't know anybody else who's left this place and been successful. I guess I'll fucking be the first, you know?
Fuck yeah, man. That's beautiful, dude. Look, you know what I'm doing? I had questions for you. I'm throwing them out the way. You fucking killed it, bro. So listen, man, that's awesome, dude. And like I said, we're not just in this thing to be a podcast. We want to impact the community, dude. And we need messages like this. Like, this isn't a dead end. Like, there's so much shit that our audience needs to hear, man. So I'm really grateful for you telling your story, dude. Are we good on time? I know I booked you to 1:30, but I got a couple things I want to just show real quick.
Yeah, we got like 10 minutes or so, but I want to say this, like, you know, I have a guy, a young man, I don't like to say kid because it makes me feel old, right? Yeah. And it discredits him, but I have a young man that works for me that's like 17 or 18 years old named Jafar, and he's a boxer, and a very good one, like up and comer. He's won a couple championships around here in Dallas, and great kid. You know how fighters are some of the most humble people ever because they've all had their ass whooped at some point. That's why I think a lot of humility comes from in men is like, we don't have to flex because we've all, like, especially if you've been in a combat sport, everybody's had their ass whooped by someone.
Hell yeah,
you know?
Absolutely.
And so anyway, you know, those guys, and you know, obviously he works for me, so I counsel him pretty regularly. Like, the boxing piece, you guys got to remember, is just one part of your business. Right? The boxing piece is that outlet, no different than CrossFit or something. And I'm not downplaying fighting versus CrossFit. I'm just saying that's only your exercise piece. You can be, I'm friends with Mike Tyson. Mike's one of the greatest, if not the greatest fucking boxer of all time. However, he's got nobody ever worked with him on his mindset shit until recently. Dude. Mike has evolved as a fucking human being in the last 5 years a lot.
Absolutely.
Right? A lot. But before that, he needed that shit when he was 18, 19, 20. Imagine if Mike Tyson would have got the same mindset that fucking Floyd Mayweather has. Mike fucking made a whole hell of a lot more money than Floyd. A lot more people liked Mike than Floyd. You know what I mean? But Floyd had the mindset of how to not only take care of health, but to take care of business and to take care of, you know, most of the areas of his life. Everybody's going to have problems. The force of average is real. You know what I mean? I just gave you a whole story filled with it. But imagine that. So you guys that are doing this boxing, especially because it's a young man's sport, you can't think that, like, I get all the pussy and all because I knock all the people out and blah, blah, blah. And one day somebody's going to pay me. It's like, no, man, you still need to take care of treating your girl. Because guess what? Even if you do go get that fucking Earl Spence money and you cheat on your girl all the time and shit, once that money dries up, she going to dry the fuck up with it. Guess what else dries up? Vagina. That's right. Right? Yeah, I'm telling you, man, I got UFC fighters, professional boxers that are friends and clients. I fucking know this story. So that's why I'm telling you guys now, don't just think that because I made this mistake in my 20s. I thought I'm making all this money in my business and all that's all that matters. Everything else is fucking secondary, and it's not true. You can't think I'm putting all my focus in boxing and everything else is secondary. Be like, I got to put all my focus in boxing, making money, handling the relationships, and having the right mindset. That's what the whole fucking G-code process is about, man. And man, if you'll get it on that level, when you win, you'll win big because you'll win every fucking where.
Hell yeah, dude. We've learned what winning looks like. So listen, real quick, our podcast drops January 2nd, 6 o'clock, iTunes, YouTube for now. But I mentioned I had a little bit of surprise. The Spit Bucket, because of you and the whole damn group, I've been working a lot with Joe Guerra. We're expanding this thing, man. So we are getting into the NFT world. I know you're getting your toes wet in the NFT world. Got a little bit of surprise for you. My little 12-year-old daughter went nuts. Maybe she can get on here in a little bit, but give me a second. Maybe I want to flip this around. So just look up the Spit Bucket podcast and all that good stuff. But here's our, this is going to be our first collection. And I want to start off by saying this. These NFTs just aren't pieces of paper. They're going to give you access to we're doing big shit. May 7th is going to be our first one. We're having an open bar, fancy ass exclusive event for NFT holders, TSB NFT holders. All right. I was going to talk a little bit about our foundation. We're kind of low on time. I'll piggyback off that a little bit later, but we do have a foundation for injured, pretty much brain dead boxers that nobody's feeding after. 10% of all our proceeds is going to that foundation. We'll chit chat about that a little bit later, but the NFTs I want to talk to you a little bit right now. And just, look, this is a picture of when I met Ryan, or when the Spit Bucket met Ryan. So hold on to that image in your head. Here's our OpenSea account, man. So we've got a bunch of cool shit with our logo.
That's cool.
This is part of it. We've got 150 about to drop. We've got about 40 loaded right now. But most importantly, hey, you want to put the camera on my little girl? Check out what my little girl did, dude. She's a little entrepreneur. I promise you're gonna hear more from Joey Elena really soon. Hey,
what's up? You made all of those?
No, she didn't make all of those, but check this out. All right, maybe you want to zoom in on there. So I showed you the picture with me, Ryan. We've got that, one of our FYE NFTs. You want to zoom in on that?
That's awesome.
Ryan, and as a giant thank you to you, dude, we've got this at 0.15 Ether is what we got it listed, but we're going to shoot it over to you. I know you're in the NFT collection game, but my little girl spent about 2 weeks working on this thing, told her how important it was to us. So this is going to be our first transfer. We're transferring this over to your OpenSea account, or I think you're using OpenSea, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. Yes,
for sure, man.
I'll give you my my wallet address in the chat, man. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, dude. So, Joey, talk a little bit. You want to talk? No, she's been a little shy right now.
Hey, thank you for that. That's so awesome, and it's really cool that you took action and made something. I mean, some kids your age are still drawing with crayons on pieces of paper, and you're like making digital assets. That's a big deal. It really is.
Yeah, man. So she wants to be a part of this. She sees the vision. At first, she thought this whole NFT thing was a little kooky. Hell, so was I. What I would express to the entire Apex following that's watching, there's a lot of folks who a month ago, dude, I thought this was some ridiculous shit to talk about. We started learning about how we can make money in this, how you can use it to promote your business. But yeah, we're going to shoot this over to you, dude. Check out tsbnft.com. You'll see our catalog on there. This is the first one that's got a price on it, but we're going to transfer it over to you, Ryan. But we've got big plans with this, from events, all access shit. It's going to be super nice, and there's not a boxing presence in OpenSea right now, and we think we're going to be the first boxing presence in OpenSea. So support, love, Ryan. I can't tell you how much we're grateful for this, dude. Like, it's absurd, man. I appreciate you so much. This is just the beginning, though, dude. We're right at the forefront of this whole metaverse, and we think we're going to make big things happen with the charities, getting back to the communities, giving back to local gyms and kids, and this is going to be just the beginning of it, man. So thank you so damn much, dude. I appreciate it.
You guys are welcome, and it's really cool to see that you guys are taking action. There's like, I just want you to know this, like, right now, you're literally light years ahead of everybody else, because there's, let's say, 80% of the public doesn't even know what the fuck an NFT is right
You're
now.
right, dude.
Right? And then the 20% that does, less than 0.5% of those people have probably created one.
For sure.
It won't. But even if this thing flopped, you got an experience of what to fucking do, regroup, do better, and fucking make on the next one. And if this one does well, then you'll even know how to improve, regroup, and do even better on the fucking next one. So that when the 80% of people that don't know start to know, you'll be somebody in the field. That's how I got here. When I was doing social media and I was posting on Facebook daily, nobody was on Facebook and nobody was fucking reading it. And guess what? I've been posting every day between 6:30 and 7:30 a.m. since fucking 2008 on this motherfucker. And every fucking day, about 2014, I got a little steam. So you think about that, that's fucking 6 years in. Then about 2019, I started getting a little steam. And what's funny is both times I got steam is because somebody that I was doing business with fucked a bunch of people over and I had to cover their tab. And so people started following me, not because I owed them money or the deal or whatever. They started saying, fucking Stewman's a real one, man. If somebody on his fucking team fucks up, he handles it and takes care of it on the back end. And that's what really, like that shit that should have devastated me because I lost money and stuff like that actually was the thing that like brought people to realize that I was a real one. So you never know. My life's been filled with shit that should be catastrophic and terrible that have worked out pretty good. And most of your life, if it has been catastrophic and it hasn't worked out to be good on the other end, it's because you've chosen the wrong outcome. It's easy to fix that. But guys, I got to go. I've got goal setting up with my team this afternoon. Thank you guys for having me on here. And Happy New Year to y'all.
Thank you so much. I'll get with you with your wallet and all that good stuff, man. So appreciate you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Woo, man.
Hey, guys. For those of y'all who are still watching, I hope that was some good advice from a very, very successful man. We each have our own stories. We have our stories. I've got stories where I was rock bottom. Some of you guys follow me on Facebook where y'all seen it firsthand. Where Corey's got his.
Well, I was blackballed from the entire boxing community, and everybody seen my story of how I had to rebuild myself back up, and this TSB movement that me and JJ Solomon doing, man, it's just everything, man.
Yeah, so just
Ryan was a big reason.
Ryan and the Apex community is a huge reason for us not just being a podcast tech. So just to recap before we let you guys go. The SpitBucketPodcast.com is our merch site. That's where you'll go in. You buy your merch. We'll show you a real quick image of it. 10% of all our proceeds are going to a foundation that we are creating for fighters like Gerald McClellan and Pritchard Colon. If you're to look them up, those guys suffered terrible injuries in the ring. And a boxing contract is nothing like a football or a basketball contract. When you can't fight, you're done. And that's all these guys know. So we're setting up something where we can contribute to their day-to-day well-being.
And that's our most prized thing.
Yeah, that's what brings
us. We're doing this for TSB Warriors Foundation. And in the ring with Christine, you always show me love. I love you dearly.
Absolutely. And I'm so thankful for you as well, Christine. So that's the merch site. But the big piece we're doing, our very first event is going to be May 7th. It's going to be Canelo against whoever it ends up being. It looks like Macaboo right now. But anyhow, we're having a giant exclusive watch party for NFT holders. The location's still to be determined. We're going to have open bar. We're going to have food. We want y'all to come out looking good. But our NFTs are listed at tsbnft.com. What you see right now is the first wave of them. But we're going to have a shit ton more. We're going to have a whole bunch more for you guys. But check out tsbnft.com. Check out our podcast. Right now, we're going to be on iTunes and YouTube for right now. Spotify, we're still working on.
January the 2nd, everybody, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
And one more shot. If you want to just take a look at the, this is the merch site. The merch site is, you can go get yourself some caps, some tank tops, hoodies, shirts, all that good stuff. It's all TSB themed stuff. Look at these cool actors, cool models. I mean, that's me and my wife. That's correct. And then more importantly, guys, want to shoot you over to our NFT site. If you go to tsbnft.com, you've got a bunch here. They're starting at 0.03 Ethereum. So go look that up.
Big head collection.
This is our big head collection. We've still got plenty more to work on, We've got our zombies, Vikings. We've still got a few that are going to be loaded on here. Once the 150 are loaded, we will go in and list them with the price. But this will give you access to our May 7th event. And they're going to be worth some money. So you're not just getting a ticket. You're getting something that's going to have some value to it. You can sell it. You can do what you want with it. And then, of course, this is the one we have for Ryan Stewman. FYE, the FYE, F your excuses.
And you do tell them exclusively you'll be able to come to all the parties and events that we throw from the 214 across the park.
Absolutely.
Oh, no?
Yeah. We'll get to that. So that's how we're in. But yeah, guys, if you want to, I mean, I guess that's about it, right? Follow Ryan Stewman. Give Ryan Stewman a follow.
Oh, yeah, one more thing. Y'all make sure y'all go on YouTube and subscribe to us at the Spit Bucket Podcast on YouTube, because I want, if on YouTube, if y'all got YouTube, iTunes
as well. The Spit Bucket Podcast on iTunes. We're dropping Sunday. You can see the trailer on there right now. But guys, we've got big things planned. We thank you so much. This is only the beginning. January 2nd marks the beginning of a new era in boxing media locally. We're hoping to be nationwide.